You have to have a certain attitude to play defense or to be a defense coordinator. I was like, he doesn't. I don't feel like he has that. And everybody keeps talking about it's just preseason. No, in preseason you work on what you're going to do during the season. You don't just pull it out your ass and think that it's going to magically work. You're supposed to work on stuff like that. And all I see them working on is bend but don't break again.
When you're a guy like Barrett and you play as many years as he did, and you're a high draft choice, but then you get a guy like Hollis who wasn't a high draft choice and he plays 12 years. I said this the last time he was on. Dude, what he did is more impressive than when you're a first rounder. First rounders get latitude to make the team. Like Jalen Reagor's had 3 years to make the team. Hollis had 3 minutes. 3 minutes to make the team. And he went on to a 10-plus, 12-year NFL career. And he joins us right now here on the National Football Show. I'm sorry, Hollis. I keep starting there because
it's 15, though.
Dude.
It's 15, though. It's 15.
Dude, what you did is tell these people how hard that is. Most of the guys that are undrafted, Hollis, they get 15 minutes.
Yeah. We was I do the 4th and John show. Now I'm with them each and every week, 6:30, sometimes Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday. We were going through exactly the 53-man roster, and we came up to a point where there was some other guys on the list, and they were saying they keep bringing the first round draft like Andre Dillard. They were talking about keeping him, and then they brought up Jalen Reagor, and I was like, dude. I was like, they've both got 3 years. 3 years. They have to. You need to give. I personally feel like give some of the other younger guys a shot to make it because they've been given all the shot. You keep them as trade bait or whatever you want, but it's like you don't get. When you're an undrafted free agent, you have to already be polished. You can't. They're not going to give you the latitude which they're going to give their first round draft picks. They're going to give them all the latitude in the world to mess up. And then you know what else is going to happen? Another team is going to give them the latitude to mess up. And then one more team. We're talking about this, and we know one of our favorite guys, Carson Wentz, is on his 3rd team in 3 years because he couldn't get it done. At what point do you start looking in the mirror and knowing that you need to do something? You need to take some coaching or something, or I don't know. What round were you drafted in, man?
I was drafted in the 2nd round.
Yeah, see, but see, sometimes you probably pissed too that you were drafted 2nd round, weren't you?
Well, no. Here's my thing, man. Is that when you get drafted to a team that's a shitty team, and by the way, Hollis, this is why I revere what you did. I had a 3-year pro NFL career, but I played in other leagues like the Canadian League and other leagues. I played 7 years of pro ball. But what you did, you got in there, you put your mindset. You were a professional right away. You were polished. I dicked around, and I was looking at going, well, I go from Miami to the Bucks who suck. And I start thinking about the dumbest things on the planet, Hollis, instead of doing the most important thing. You know what that was? Playing.
Yeah.
Taking care of myself. That's why you are so mature, ahead of you. Dude, people don't know how hard what you did was. It's just unprecedented. People don't – like, I get latitudes. Barrett would get latitude. Like you say, Wentz. Mm-hmm. It's almost like 1st or 2nd or 3rd round entitlement, isn't it? That those guys get more opportunities.
And this will key you to what fueled my fire as well. I was like, I was at one point during the mini camp and training camp, the offensive line assistant who was Juan Castillas at the time, they had drafted Jermaine Mayberry first and tried to kick him down the guard. Now, kicking a person down the guard is more than a notion to do in any event. But they kicked him down. He was going against me every day in practice, and I made sure I kicked that ass every time I got. And I just happened to be walking into practice one day, and this probably you haven't heard this, and nobody else has heard this. So I hear him trying to pump Jermaine up, say, "You let an undrafted free agent kick your ass like that." I had to throw the accent on there. He's like, he shouldn't even be touching you. You're a 1st-round draft pick. And then he tried to come to me. I was like, you're doing what you think you need to do. But I proceeded to continue to kick his ass. And so every time I went out there, I felt like I had to prove to everybody that I belonged. And not only did I belong for a reason. I was like letting everybody know that they made a mistake. I didn't have to say. I don't have to say. In saying they made a mistake, I don't want to be the Josh Rosen telling everybody that they made a mistake. I want to show you. It's like, and the only way that I know how to show you is to play football. Don't think about nothing. Don't think. Yeah, I partied here and there and stuff, but I tried to keep my nose clean, and I tried to make sure that I was in shape and strong enough to kick ass and take names.
You
And
think that's why you see a guy like Edwards and what they did by drafting Nakobe Dean? You think he has that lumberyard on his shoulder like you did, that, hey, this kid may be a third-round pick, and you may perceive this kid as the heir apparent to me, but he ain't taking my gig. And there's something to be said about that, isn't there?
I think TJ Edwards got to take it personal. I think you talking about TJ Edwards, right?
Yeah.
TJ Edwards. You haven't seen TJ in practice? I've been on TJ since he was at the University of Wisconsin. I watched him play in a bunch of games and stuff against the bigger opponents and stuff. And then I was happy to see him. I've talked to him on a couple different occasions. He's a well-grounded individual, but he's a smart kid, and all he thinks about is football. And Nakobe Dean is the same way. So, but Nakobe Dean got drafted in the third round. But I think that's pissing out because everybody's talking about, oh, he's the heir apparent. He's the heir apparent. TJ Edwards is hearing that. He's like, nah, you're gonna have to work to get this. And he's come out. He's had one of the best camps out that I've seen him have since he's been here. Because at first, I see the same thing in Nakobe Dean that I saw in TJ Edwards early on. Because early on, TJ Edwards is like, oh, everybody's like, oh God, what did we get this guy for? And he was young. He wasn't making any mistakes, but he wasn't popping off. He wasn't popping off the film. Now he's popping off the film.
Yeah, he was I thought he was getting lost in traffic a little bit,
yeah.
False steps and stuff. But he's fixed that. He's rectified it.
Exactly. But you see a little bit of the same thing with Nakobe Dean. You see sometimes false, like this last preseason game. I watched it, and I saw one of your excerpts about Jonathan Gannon. I'm not sold on Jonathan Gannon by any stretch of the means. You have to have a certain attitude to play defense or to be a defense coordinator. I was like, I don't feel like he has that. And everybody keeps talking about it's just preseason. No, in preseason, you work on what you're going to do during the season. You don't just pull it out your ass and think that it's going to magically work. You're supposed to work on stuff like that. And all I see them working on is bend but don't break again. I don't see us when we play against the viable quarterbacks and stuff and the good teams. I see it being a shootout, because we got a lot of offensive weapons, and I feel like we can hang with the best of them offensively, especially with our line. But if you go out there and do the bend but don't break and don't put any pressure on the quarterback to make quick decisions, because you got to see how people act under pressure. And if they got all day back there to pick you apart, you never put your secondary in a bind. And our secondary is in a bind week in and week out because we don't rush more than 4. It's like some teams will hold 5 or 6 people back there sometimes, and it's a fight you're not going to win often. And we don't. I don't think we were
Hollis,
middle of the pack of sacks.
Against the Browns, I watched the way Stoutland had them twos going and the way they were knocking off the ball.
Yeah,
dude, I couldn't tell the difference between the first team or second team. Then I saw the defensive guys. I mean, how many times they break the edge down? 10? I mean, they were gaping holes, and I saw the difference between that coach and Gannon's style, and I said, the reason I asked you honest, I'm like, please help me understand this guy, because I don't think he's a good coach.
I don't think so either. The one thing when you just was talking about that, our offense looked like we wanted our offense to look, because when you put out tools against somebody else's tools, they're supposed to look like ones. Our defense did not resonate did not go with that. And if you look at it, now your defense, your players take on your personality. And it was vanilla. It sucked. We lost contain. We had Dobbs ready a touchdown. Who the hell is Dobbs? Now, I know who he is because I watch college football. He was a quarterback at Tennessee. And it was horrible. And then I was like, they broke
the edges down the lead at will.
Yeah. And the funny part is we're on 2 or 3 12 play drives.
Yep.
But we still gave up 2 or 3 12 play drives.
It's totally, Hollis, it's totally the difference. I think Jeff Stoutland wants to dominate you, and Jonathan Gannon. I mean, you're in a place with Jim Johnson, Buddy Ryan, Bud Carson, even Jim Schwartz, and then you got a guy that says, "Hey, let's keep everything in front of us." Okay, and I'm like, man, that ain't gonna work, bro.
It's not
aggressive enough.
No, it's not, and I think Vic Fangio being there. I know you heard it. Well, check that. I had to check myself. This Coach Fangio, because it was that's how he was introduced to me when I first got. I seen Coach Fangio there way back in mini camps before he signed. I didn't say anything because I was there as an alumni, and if you want to be around in certain situations, you just kind of learn to just look and see and be like, okay, I see it. So I think the writing's on the wall for Jonathan Gannon. As far as
Hollis, do you think that Fangio was kind of like maybe for a day or two brought in as a consultant?
Vic Fangio is there now.
He's there now.
Yeah, he's on the coaching staff. He's there as a defensive consultant.
Huh.
I don't know if you remember. He got introduced like a little bit back, because that's the only reason I'm saying something now. Because I was introduced to him as Coach Fangio early in the mini camps back in June, and it's like I was over there chilling, and not only I wasn't the only one introduced to him. The defensive line was introduced to him, the linebackers. He's like, hey, this is Coach Fangio. Say hi to Coach Fangio. So
Fangio's in the building as the guy in waiting if this thing doesn't get going here. Interesting stuff. That is fantastic.
I think he's going to be. I think first off, he's going to be used as a sounding. I think first he's going to be used as a flame to light under Jonathan Gannon's ass. If we see the same thing and we don't see a dominant performance with an aggressive defense out there, then we'll have to put somebody who can put us one on the table. We've given you all the tools. I was tired last year. Everybody talk about what he had. If you don't have any DBs that can't cover, you know how you rectify that? You get the ball out the quarterback's hands fast and so the DBs don't have to cover all damn day. That's how you do it. Pressure. It's the oldest cliche in the world. Pressure busts pipes. So if a quarterback can stand back there and play 7-on-7, hell, even Brady Quinn can do that. I don't know you're saying who is Brady Quinn.
Hollis, what do you make of Jordan Davis?
I love Jordan Davis. I like the fact that he's
I like what I'm seeing too with him.
Yeah, I didn't like what I saw from him in the Cleveland game. I think he took a step back. So hopefully the coaches criticized him enough to where he picks his game up. And I still want to see more violent hands from him. When I say violent hands, is getting off the, you know what I mean? You're a former D lineman, getting off them damn blocks. Yeah. But getting off the blocks because if you come back to the sideline and the coach asks you what happened, holding is, if they didn't throw a flag on holding, it wasn't holding.
That's right.
You get off the block. So I love
an
what I'm
offensive
seeing.
lineman gets in front of somebody and he doesn't even have to block you. If he's in your way of the gap or in the hole, he's got you. You lose that. What I think makes Aaron Donald so good is that hand slapping and him getting away from that and him getting around that, Hollis. Because he's a 6-foot guy. He's kind of like you and me. So he's got the leverage in there. He's a hand fighter.
Also the hip flips and he
really good hip.
And it's pad level and drop and running people over.
He runs the hula hoop. You know what I mean? Yeah. He gets around that hula hoop really well. The only thing I'd say about Davis is that you can see sometimes, and I'm assuming, Hollis, that it's an NFL thing, but because of the lack of conditioning and the lack of practice time, you see that he's got a full tank at the beginning and he can dominate the blocker. He turns shoulders. He gets up into the gap. But then as it goes on, he gets lost sometimes in the wash and he gets hooked and slips sometimes. I think it's because of conditioning. You agree?
Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm gonna have to get in this because in college they do conditioning, but somebody's always telling you. In the pros, I had to learn that too. You're doing it yourself. So practicing that hour a day is not going to get it, especially when it comes to the games that gets deep in the season, the playoff time, because as you know, they provide you with some tasty meals
Those train tables are awesome in the NFL, man.
Yes.
Especially when you're on the road, man. I got everything in there, man.
and then not only that, you're gonna like every
ice cream, all kinds of shit is in there.
I know, but it's like when you get to most cities, I would look for the IHOP for dinner.
White Castles,
White Castle, IHOP. I just found a White Castle up in Allentown doing all their birds. I did all their birds podcast, and I was just driving back to Philly, and all of a sudden, I was in the right hand lane, and all of a sudden, all the way over to the left, I spotted White Castle. I was like, good luck, everybody.
Hold on for a second. I've got your email address, and I'm going to send you. Hang on, I get coupons for free White Castles, and they are coming to you, Hollis. Because I sent them to Brooks too, dude. And Big Sills does this. Hey, how many White Castles you want? I go, does it look like I eat 3? I want 24 of them things.
I get the double cheeseburgers. I get six to 10 double cheeseburgers and a large Dr. Pepper. And so they always look at me like they be thinking there's two or three people in the car because I ordered 6 to 10 cheeseburgers.
Hey, what do you make of these joint practices? You think you get anything out of these joint practices and these controlled scrimmages?
But I think they do, especially the way they're gearing down. And I think the more that you do them, you give your guys a chance to go against somebody who doesn't give a damn about you making the team. And I think that because we used to do it against the Ravens, and I've done it against the Cincinnati Bengals and against the Houston Texans. But when you do that, it gives you an opportunity to hit somebody else, not only hit somebody else, but see how you would fare against somebody. Because if you look at it in the preseason game, it's not like it used to be. The preseason game, you used to know the starters. They're gonna come out and they go the first quarter, possibly a little bit into the second quarter. Second game, they go first quarter, second quarter. Third game, they play the first quarter, second quarter, half of the third quarter, and then the fourth game they out. You don't get that type of those type of reps anymore. And those are the live reps that the guys need to get back acclimated to football. Everybody tends to think now, I don't know if it's the fantasy crap or whatever the hell it is, they think that you can just at the beginning of the season roll your damn helmet out there. You're not ready. No matter how many weights you lift, no matter how many times you run around a damn block, you're not ready to play football until you've practiced playing football. And those soft tissue injuries will let you know. The sloppy play will let you know. You got to it's the weird, not even weird. It's like, you know how you might be having a great season, and at the end of the season, you're doing great. You're not going to come back in that same damn form. You got to work back to that form. It's one of the hardest things in the world. Getting your steps back, getting your hand placement back. Keeping your pad level low. It's like if you ever not doing anything one time, watch the pad level of the players from the beginning of the season who practice and it'd be up here when it's supposed to be down here. And then as the low man wins all the time, but the pad level and stuff is slothful and the play is slothful. So you really need that time against those other teams to learn that stuff. And as you see, we have a Cadillac. We actually have a Ferrari whose speakers aren't working all the time. And our running back in Miles Sanders.
Dude, I'm telling you, guy's made of paper mache, man. I mean, he's made of paper mache. This guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If reliability and durability, Hollis.
Yep.
That's part of it too, you know.
Yep. If you can't make the club in the tub.
No.
But it's like.
Hey, by the way,
okay.
Hugh Douglas making it to the Ring of Honor. You, Corey Simon, all them guys on that defense, man. That just must have been a hell of a party, man. Getting out there in that huddle and being in that huddle and playing. I heard some Hugh Douglas stories, though, man. I didn't realize that you guys would have to go like this to the guy. Hey, please play the run, dude. Please play the run. I didn't know you guys had to really beg him to play the run.
They had to beg him to play the run. I just played off of him. I played once they moved me over there. I pretty much knew the right defensive tackle, right defensive end responsibilities. But I predicated myself on knowing exactly where everybody was supposed to be on defense. That's how I studied, so that I could know the latitude in which I could move throughout the Jim Johnson's defense. And the thing that I was told when they moved me over there, because when Corey came, Corey couldn't play the right defensive tackle, and I could, so they moved me over there. Bill Johnson called me. He's like, you have to tell that crazy MF where to go. And I was like, I said, what you mean? He's like, you literally have to tell him where to go. He gonna get
Bill
you there.
Johnson coached you?
No. Bill Johnson was played with me. You
Oh,
remember
okay.
Bill Johnson? Bill Johnson. Tommy Brazier. The way they told me about moving me to right defensive tackle was I had a great practice on the Wednesday before we were playing versus the Cowboys. This year we beat the Cowboys 41-14. Well, that Wednesday, I had a great practice. I'm at home. I was breaking out my run slash because I used to get a DVD that had the runs, had the and all the screen formations that they ran, and they top runs. I was about to watch that. My phone rang, and I looked over, and so when I look over, it said 215-463-2500. It's like from the stadium. So
yeah.
I was like, hello. It was like, yeah, Hollis. It's Tommy Brazier. Yeah, you remember when you asked me if I needed you to play right defensive tackle? It was like I say, yeah. He's like, yeah, I need you to do that. Corey looked like shit over there. We don't want to ruin his confidence. So, and
so he played the 3 and you played the 1.
No, he just played left defensive tackle.
Okay.
And I played right defensive tackle. Okay. So then I get to my locker the next morning, and so Hugh said, "Did they talk to you?" I was like, you knew this shit already. You didn't call me and tell me.
Did they talk to you?
And so being over there, I didn't realize what Bill Johnson had called me because Bill was no longer on the team. I think he was retired at the time. So he's like, yeah, you got to tell that boy where to go. I was like, what? I said, what you mean? He's like, you have to tell him where to go. So we was in practice one time, and for the first time, me playing over there, and I got the hand signals because I knew the hand signals as well. So I got the hand signal, and I would repeat it to the rest of the line because, as a D lineman, you want communication is the key.
Yeah,
repeat it, and then he was just looking at me, and I was like, oh shit, he want to know where to line up.
He don't know where to line up.
No, I say he wanted to know where to line up and what we had. So see, so it wasn't that he didn't know what to do. He knew where to line up, but he wanted to know what our responsibility was. Sometimes we would manipulate the responsibilities because a lot of times everybody would jump out on him to try to jump set him to stop his thunder up the field. So when we got somebody like that, after he got tired of kicking their ass up the field, he was like, we would get a call, and I'd be like, he's like, big dog, what you got for me? I was like, I say, he jumps at you. He say, yeah. I say, well, I'll set the table, and you just set him up and come inside. So what I would do is I would take a step down inside, like I was going down, like I was slanting inside, get the guards back turned, and he bow upfield. They start calling it a wing stunt because it's called. He made up the wing and the slice. In the defenses that you see around, Hugh Douglas is the reason why those stunts are available, because every time you tell him not to do it, he was going to do it when it was presented to him. At some point, he was going to do it. So while he did rewrite the Jim Johnson book on defense, because he was good enough for you to do that. So anytime you get a wing stunt or a slice stunt, wing is the weak side, end slant down the side, and versus run action to our side, I'll replace him, and versus pass, I'll replace him. So he didn't have any responsibility.
Hollis, finally here. Do you feel good, or do you feel concerned about this 2022 defense going in with Gannon running it? Not so much because last year the personnel was the issue, right, according to people in the media, right?
Right.
He didn't have the talent. That gets exposed now, doesn't? There's no more excuses here. Do you feel comfortable with this defense being improving from a year ago?
I feel like this is how I feel. I feel like we're going to improve a little bit, but I think that the season has some ebb and flows, and it's going to be an ebb and flow to where we that bend but don't break crap is going to be our Achilles heel, because there's going to be some times where we're in a dog fight and we're going to need the ball back. Bend but don't break doesn't get us the ball back. If people are running down your throat and stuff, you have no run blitzes. You have no blitzes whatsoever in there. They're going to destroy you. It's like you can do whatever you want to, and then best with some of the players, it's going to be some dissension in the ranks. And then some of the players are going to say some stuff in the media, like I'm paid to get sacks or some stuff like that. And then I think that's when you're going to see Vic Fangio. I think he's going to come in and run some of the stuff because it's like I would love to see any of his blitzes, any pressure packages. It's like even if you just do what it was a couple of games where it seemed like we were dominant when we were causing turnovers and stuff because he was making the quarterback throw quickly, and it was all he was doing was running basic line stunts. It's like when you give the big dogs up front something to do, and it's different from what the crap that you've been showing, you get results. You cannot continue to put the secondary in the bind that we've been putting them in week in and week out, and think that they're going to come up big. I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't trust him.
I don't trust him, and I just don't see it right now. Hollis, I got to roll here, man. But
I know you do, man.
You've been spectacular, man. I really love talking with you, and I so respect your career so much and all the things that you've accomplished, man. It's an amazing career, and it's an amazing story, and you're one of the great legends in Philadelphia. Thank you so much, my friend.
I appreciate
Hopefully you do it again.
Most definitely we do. We will. I'll talk to you later, man.